Giving without expecting anything in return is the greatest form of wealth. Stay with us till the end. The sweet aroma of fresh bread and frosted pastries filled the small-town bakery, drawing in families and friends who laughed as they picked up treats for their celebrations. Among them, unnoticed and almost invisible, sat Lily in her worn-out wheelchair, her frail hands clutching 3 crumpled dollar bills. Her wide eyes sparkled as they fixated on a small strawberry cake in the display, its frosting topped with a single pink rose made of sugar. For most, it was nothing more than a modest dessert, but for Lily, it symbolized everything she had ever longed for: joy, belonging, and the feeling of being just like any other child. It was her 12th birthday, but there were no balloons waiting at home, no wrapped gifts or cheerful voices. Her mother, exhausted from working double shifts at a diner, had left early that morning, apologizing with tears in her eyes that she couldn't afford a party. Still, Lily had convinced herself that just one slice of cake, with a candle to blow out, would make her day complete. With trembling courage, she rolled forward and placed her $3 on the counter, whispering, "This one, please." The cashier, kind but helpless, bent down and said softly, "I'm sorry, sweetheart. It costs more than that." The words hit like a stone. Lily's small smile cracked, but she nodded, swallowing the ache in her throat. She gathered her coins and began to turn her wheelchair away, hiding the tears that threatened to spill. Around her, laughter and chatter continued, but to Lily, the bakery suddenly felt colder, emptier. Just then, a voice broke through the noise. "Wait," it said gently. She stopped, turning to see a man in simple clothes, holding the hand of a young boy who looked about her age. His eyes carried the weariness of long struggles, but also a warmth that could not be ignored. Stepping closer, he placed a bill on the counter and said firmly, "That cake is hers. Make it special." Lily froze, her breath catching as hope returned to her fragile heart, not knowing that this single act of kindness would change all of their lives forever. The bakery fell silent for a moment as the man's words lingered in the air, his tone gentle yet commanding. The cashier quickly boxed the small strawberry cake, adding a candle with a soft smile, touched by the father's kindness. Lily stared at the man, unsure if this was real or just another dream she would soon wake from. Her trembling hands reached for the box, and for the first time that day, her lips curved into a smile that reached her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible, but her gratitude louder than words. The man crouched down so he was at her eye level, his young son standing quietly by his side. "Every birthday deserves a cake," he said softly, his eyes shining with a mixture of sorrow and resilience. His son nudged Lily playfully and said, "Make a wish when you blow the candle." For a brief moment, Lily felt like she belonged, as though she wasn't just a paralyzed girl with too little money, but someone worthy of celebration. As she clutched the cake, curiosity sparkled in her eyes. "Why did you do this for me?" she asked, still amazed that a stranger would step in for her. The man's gaze shifted for a second, his jaw tightening before he answered. "Because I know what it feels like to not have enough. And I don't ever want another child to feel the same emptiness I once felt." His words carried the weight of untold struggles, of nights when he had gone without food so his son could eat, of battles fought in silence as a single father raising a boy alone. Lily didn't know his story yet, but she felt the truth in his voice. As he stood, ready to leave, she whispered again, "You gave me more than a cake today." He smiled faintly, placing a gentle hand on his son's shoulder, and replied, "No, Lily. You reminded me why kindness still matters. Neither of them knew it then, but this small act of compassion was about to weave their lives together in ways none of them could have imagined. The next day, Lily couldn't stop thinking about the man who had given her more than just a cake. He had given her a reason to believe in kindness again. Determined to thank him properly, she convinced her older brother, Daniel, to walk her to the park where she had seen the man and his son the evening before. As they approached, they noticed him sitting on a worn wooden bench, his son running around with laughter while he watched with quiet pride. But Lily's sharp eyes caught the details most people would miss. The man's shoes were old and patched, his jacket frayed at the edges, and his tired face carried the marks of countless sleepless nights. He was sipping coffee from a paper cup, but when Daniel peeked inside the empty bag beside him, he realized there was no food. The boy returned, cheeks flushed with joy, and asked, "Daddy, are you hungry?" The man smiled, shaking his head. "I'm fine, champ. You eat first." The sacrifice was clear, and Lily's chest tightened. Here was a father who gave everything to his son, even if it meant going without himself. Gathering her courage, Lily rolled closer and softly said, "You lied yesterday, didn't you? You do know what it feels like to go hungry." For a moment, the man's confident mask cracked, and he looked at her with eyes that revealed both pain and strength. "Sometimes we struggle," he admitted quietly. "But I'll always choose to struggle if it means my son gets to smile." Daniel, usually skeptical of strangers, felt his respect growing for this man who carried his burdens with such dignity. Lily held the cake box she had saved from her birthday, still untouched, and pushed it toward the boy. "Then let's share," she said with a grin that mirrored the kindness she had received. The father's eyes softened as he realized that his small act of compassion had come full circle, creating a bond between them that was no longer just about a cake but about understanding, sacrifice, and silent strength. Weeks passed, and Lily, Daniel, and the single dad Lucas and his son grew closer. What began as a chance meeting over a cake turned into shared lunches, laughter in the park, and long conversations that healed hidden wounds. For Lucas, who had carried the weight of his struggles silently, Lily's presence was a reminder that kindness was not a weakness but a force that could change lives. One chilly afternoon, as they sat together, Daniel revealed something unexpected. Their late father had left behind a small trust fund for Lily, but it had been locked until she turned 16. Daniel had just discovered the papers, and though the sum wasn't massive, it was enough to help someone who had given them so much. When Lily insisted that part of it be used to support Lucas and his son, Daniel hesitated, but one look at his sister's determined eyes silenced any objection. "You gave me a birthday I'll never forget," Lily said, her voice steady. "Now it's my turn to give you a chance at a better tomorrow." Lucas was overwhelmed, shaking his head as tears filled his eyes. "I didn't do it for anything in return. I just wanted you to feel happy," he whispered. But Lily smiled knowingly. "And that's why you deserve it most." In that moment, Lucas realized that the little girl he had once helped with a cake had given him something far greater: hope, dignity, and a new beginning. The bond between them had grown into a family-like connection, proving that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create ripples that reach far beyond what we can imagine. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more motivational videos.